Hi, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. I'm so happy to be back to Japan. I mean, I don't speak Japanese anyway, so it's just the starting point. Today talk, we look into JavaScript data, and we look into Temporal. Anyone heard about Temporal before? Just that's some. I was really deciding before I preparing the talk, should I go into super technical, or should I go into a bit lighter the talk? And I believe not everyone was really working with JavaScript data time before. So you see what is coming, but it's not 100% technical. Just to say that you are not really into JavaScript, there's something for you. That is, yeah. So 2025, there's something turned 30 years. Not sure if you know about it. It is older than most of the startup. It is older, a bit older than that. And then it can kind of survive in Flash, jQuery, React. Do you know what it is? JavaScript. That's awesome. Yeah, it's 95. So actually, that's the day. The exact date was announced was December 4th, 95. As I was born, I was literally 3 years old by that time. And you notice something in the announcement was like saying JavaScript is to complement Java. That's why it has a name, right? JavaScript and Java. The reason why, I think Java at that time was just a big language. Right? It was 30 years ago. Initially, it was a lot like Pascal, C, and then Java and all of that. I was not programming at that time, so you correct me if I'm wrong. But Java was a big name, and then JavaScript was developed by Netscape to be part of this Netscape Navigator 2.0. I'm not sure if anyone's seen it. If you don't see it, don't worry, I have a screenshot for you. But essentially, the whole idea is like JavaScript is the scripting language. It's going to be super easy to use. It is going to be designed for creating network-centric application. Integrate with HTML, integrate with Java, cross and open platform, cross-platform. And I think like at that time, like, no one was imagine how successful JavaScript can be 30 years later. Now it's one of the most popular language. And I think that is a successful. However, there's something was still stuck there in the past. And that's what we look into today. That was a Dev API. But before I look into the Dev API, that is how Netscape Navigator 2.0 look like. You never seen. I never seen it ever. I only see it when I prepare for the talk. And then look into JavaScript Dev. Okay, that's a good question. Like, anyone use JavaScript Dev before? Like new Dev? Just raise your hand. Some, not any. Like sure. That's why I was really wondering, should I go into super technical? Maybe I made the right decision here. So that is one of the article in 2016 written by Maggie. Essentially, they had a meeting with the creator of JavaScript, Brandon H. Then there is this moment JS commentator, and then they was getting into one conclusion. Like JavaScript is just so bad. Yeah, it could have been better, but for some reason in the past, it is not the best that we had. And so I think like back to the old days, the 95, essentially Brandon was kind of giving 10 days to give the prototype JavaScript. That was really short in time. You can kind of imagine. In 10 days, you have to have, like, I don't know, AST, I think, I don't know, all of this ready, and then that is crucial. And so, to kind of having the dev thing ready in JavaScript, Brandon was, look into Java util.dev. I'm not a Java developer, but essentially Java util.dev was kind of deprecated just a couple years later, 97. But for JavaScript, we are still here, 2025. 30 years later, we are still using that. So yeah, essentially Java util.dev was the initial JavaScript, but it's still there, and then Java was all gone. So there's a couple of problems. We will look into some of them not on. So there's about the problem about the time zone, about the parser, about mutating in JavaScript there. There's computation API is weird. And then there's no support for a different calendar. We will look into all of them, so don't worry. So I'll show you one thing. I'm not sure you've seen it before. That is like how you initialize date in JavaScript. Super simple. New date. And you try to get daily. I'm going to show you. 0. What is this thing? Why 0? I think that was Sunday. The Sunday was like 0 index. Then I tried to do get month. It was March. I'm going to give you 2. What's that? Why is 2? Why not is 3? Essentially, it is also like 0 base index for month as well. And then year was like 125. It is it's not 2025, it is 125. So I think it's starting from 1900, yeah, 1900. So it's like, why is that to 125? So all of that was like, yeah, it's inherited from utu.net. So we look into all of them. But to really understand a bit, right, I give you 2 more minutes of context. Why Java's utu.net is not that great? So we had this guy. I think, I'm not sure you know. Okay, now the mic will be working just now. This guy, John Scott, is the user that has the most points in Stack Overflow. You look for him, he's like 1 million points on Stack Overflow. It used to be a thing. So he knows a lot about Java and C#, and essentially, that's English. It's not my language. So JavaScript that is not as great in many use cases. And you should avoid it in any way possible you can. And then when you are using JavaScript, that's why you inherit from Java utu.net. And we just don't have a way to avoid. And that's why you had all of this and moment.js and then that FNS, all of the library to handle date and time so that we can kind of solve problems for you. So don't worry, all of this was deprecated long ago. And if you need to work with JavaScript that, it was like, yeah, sure. It's gonna work. And then another point was fractured. And because of the audience, you guys was not really work with JavaScript that. So let's do a quiz together. That's where the sound just now comes from. I'm sorry, the sound is a bit too loud. I'm really sorry for that. But I need people to have network for this to work. So you had your phone ready and had some internet connection. Let's do some quiz. Is it clear? Okay, yeah, just get in first, and then we take it from there. Right, okay, sure. Oh, wow, nice. We have people get in. All right. Awesome. That's right. So, of course, we don't do quiz for free. Of course, it's for knowledge purpose. But the winner will get a snack from Singapore, because I come from Singapore. So if you win the game, you get something. But of course, if you don't win the game, I have some thing on the top here. Come and try for yourself. I had my book if you want to write something at the end. I think we had almost everyone, so let's just start it. Who is still joining? Give me a sec. Let's see how many we had. Quite many, 63. I paid for like $20 yesterday. We had like limit to 100 people. I think we still have. Anyone still joining? All good? Awesome. Let's start. I don't have a lot of time. So let's start. The first question is a test, just to make sure that you get into the rhythm. You just select. Are you ready? I'm winning. I will win. Now this one is a test. Don't worry. This one is not supposed to.
It's not good.
Don't worry. This one will not contribute to your score.
Okay.
Right. Everyone seems to be ready. Awesome. Okay. Let's get really start. The next one is going to be interesting. So there's 11 people say you want to win. So I look forward to see you at the end. The first question: What is the result of new the string 0? Don't worry, you can try on your thing. So, it's gonna be the year of 2000. Yeah, so that's the green one. That's the 2000. If 0, it is interpreted as year. Okay. Don't ask me why. I'm not the one. Next one. Okay, we had Ota. There's 10 more to go. So next question. New date of 0, not string. This is 0 number. So let's see. Is it going to be 1970, throw an error, invalid, or 2000 again? So yes, wow, a lot of people get it right this time. So if it is number 0, it is interpreted as millisecond. And it is like the first in the epoch, so it is 1970. You can try on your browser console, it's going to show you that. It's going to be, yeah, again, I don't know why, but that's how it works. Next question. Okay, all times go down. Important point, you need to be fast as well, not just correct, it has to be fast. The faster you are, you get more points. Next one, it's just true or false. Is pass of string 0 and number 0 is equally the same? Yeah, again, it is not the same as new date, unfortunately. So I think that dot pass is only work with string, and then somehow the number is converted to string 0. And then when it is 0, it both pass to the second, whatever. Anyway, you can try on your own. I couldn't explain why. But next one. Next one is fun. Wow, okay, fun Fuji. We still have like 7 more, so. Next one. New data 1. String. Okay. Faster. I hope tonight is easier. Yes. Because string 0 is 2000, so string 1 is 2001. You are okay. Sorry. Okay, we are in the right rhythm. So someone is going up. Nice one. Interesting. New data 2. String 2. Okay. It has a twist here. It's a hint. It has a twist. It might not follow the previous question. That's what I'm trying to say. You have 2 more seconds. As you can see, previously 1 is interpreted as 2001, so obviously 2 should be 2002. But for some reason 2 is interpreted as month. So it's 2001 February. Try it on your console, you see. Okay. I think we are getting here. We're getting here. Getting there. Okay. Wow, Fuji. Next one. Now it's a new data 1, 2. Don't ask me. No idea. So because 1, 2 is interpreted as month, so it's gonna be December. Okay? And then because there's no year was taken in the place, this is 2001 of December. Yeah, that's how it is. From the previous question. So this one seems to be very easy to guess. We go to the next one. Let's see. Okay. Go to the next one. New data 12.1, not just 12. You might get it right this time. So yes, again, 12.1 is interpreted as December 1st, and as you can guess, there's no year. So it's 2001, of course. Of course, it's 2001. Okay, next one. I know we are very, very close to the end. So we had a new winner. But there's still 5 more questions. So cannot say. Needed a 1-3. String 1-3. 13. This one may be a bit easier. Sorry. So yes, there's no month of 13, so of course it's invalid. Guys, what are you expecting? Yeah, sure. So next one. New data, perhaps once. I know it is getting out of control, but perhaps once. Okay, let's see. Yes, as you can guess, the leading text will be over ignore. So it's only like string of 1. So we are gonna do one more. Sorry, it's a bit hard to operate here. So we had a lot of news winner now. Next one. I don't have a lot of time left, so new date May 4 UTC. So yeah, yes. So yeah, UTC was interpreted as the time zone. You are correct. And with that, we are coming to the end. We still have Tetra 2000. The winner. Let's see if still the winner after the last question. The last one. New date May 4 UTC +1. So it's gonna be 2001 invalid. Yeah. Is it like 23? Here's the 23, you know. Some hint. So, it is interpreted as the right time zone. So of course it's going to be like 1 hour ahead of before. But it's like the 11 p.m. before UTC. Yeah, I don't know how to explain. This is very hard. But anyway, thank you for joining. I think we have some fun. And that is the winning. Hang is on the 3 words hang. Woohoo! Let's try. And the winner was Katie. Where's Katie? So Katie, come look to me, look for me after. Let's some stuff. Okay. need to go back to the talk. I don't have a lot of time left, but that was fun. No, sorry. This is not in purpose. So I think we only had about 10 minutes left. So we will look into the JavaScript pain point, which include time zone, the parsing that you just seen. I hope that's clear now. You never work with JavaScript. I hope it's a bit clearer now. Then we see how Temporal can help you to fix it. And the last thing is what is the status and when you can use it. All of that now going to need to be faster. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm Trung. I'm the Google developer expert in Angular and web. Call it GD. And then I run Angular in Singapore and Vietnam. And I do speak at conferences around the world about modern web development technique. So today is one of them. Then, of course, I'm from Singapore, right? So that's Fair Pride. Someone can guess from Fair Pride brand, the famous brand. So we had an indoor waterfall. We had Marina Bay Sands has Garden by the Bay. Come and visit us. It's always warm in Singapore. That is the best thing. Anyway, I'm from Vietnam. So Vietnam also like 4 seasons. It's a bit cold. Singapore all the time warm. If you need to go to the beach all the time, that's the best. And I'm with Ascenda. We are building loyalty program for a lot of banks. I think there's a couple of banks also like in Japan is our client. So working with a lot of clients around the world. So the pain point we've seen just now, there's 16, right? And I was trying to order it in text so you can see. So I will not talk about daylight saving because my country, I never worked daylight saving. I never experienced it really. I don't live in a country that has daylight saving. So it's not my expertise, I will skip that. But we look into parser, we look into the time zone. That is mutable, and then computational, and the no support for non-Gregorian calendar, which is the modern calendar we are using today. So parser is unusable. Actually, we already seen it. There's not much to talk about. All of this is gonna actually used to return a different value on a different browser. So it's quite hard to get. Right? We will not work with this kind of format directly, but you can kind of imagine like if you just passing some random stuff, empty string, undefined, what you could expect. And then this one, right? For example, I had a date 270408, 2 string. You get a perfectly fine UTC. So that is like midnight UTC. But if I put in the time, what is your result? What do you think? With all of the things that we just seen, it is not working the same way. Right? So it's not interpreted as UTC when it has the hour and a minute. It was actually becoming your local time. So it's like deducting 8 hours from it. So all of this was a bit hard to reason about when you need to work with it. So this is one of the real examples. Previously it was more like fun one. And so you can see it had 8 hours different. So time zone, I think talk about time zone, essentially the world was divided and that's how the earth was rotating and then the sun will only line up on one part. That's why you need time zone. But at the same time, time zone can be changed based on a political reason, based on like country, based on a lot of reasons. And so we look into one example. At the moment, let's say we are at 3 p.m. Japan time. In Singapore, it's like 2 p.m. We are 1 hour behind. So that is how time zone is working. And you will see it a lot in like a calendar. When you book a flight, it has to be a local time zone. And again, you have to work with time to kind of experience the difficulty yourself. And usually you only had like local time zone and UTC, which is here. The UTC, like all like local. So when you are passing anything, it was kind of showing you in the local computer time. And then here is like 10 p.m. Singapore. And then if I take the ISO string of it, you can see there's like 8 hour difference. So here's like 2 p.m. and then 10 p.m. like 8 hour different. And then you can only operate in these 2 time zones. Oh, that's it. It doesn't support more than that. You can still formatting it in the time zone that you want. So let's say I had the previous example. I want to format in like Tokyo time zone. I can do like 2 local string. and then I get the format in Tokyo time zone, but it still doesn't understand it as like, the moment in Tokyo. It is just formatting for me. Like in the string, it is showing me 7 p.m. But if I try to access the hour and a minute, it's still in like Singapore time. Sure, of course, that's how it works. And let's say I wanted to get this string in like, in the different time zone format. The first one is from European time zone, and then the second one is like Tokyo. I couldn't really like get just like interchange between the formatting. I couldn't get this string easily. Like you don't have a two string and then you pass in the time zone and you get the nicely format, ISO string that you want. And it is just a pain, really. So that's why all of us, most of us, we look into a library when you are handling time zone, like moment, this, and a lot more. I'll just show you different. Mutable, I think it's easy. Right. Mutable was like you had an object, you call some method, it changed the same object. You don't get a new copy of it. So that you, by mistake, calling a set month somewhere, then from the beginning when you see the date, it is changed everywhere. So here, you can see the date, I set month to 11, it changed to December. Because of course, JavaScript is 0 by each month. Wow, it's very slow, eh? Yeah, so computational the same, right? You cannot really say, I want to add 2 more months into my date. You don't. You have to say, you take the current month or current date, and then you add more on that. So let's say today is like 16, I want to get the date 18, and you say get the date and then plus 2 to get 18. There's no other way to say, add 2 more days. There's just no way. Yeah. That's why all of this API was a bit cumbersome to work with sometimes. And then there's a lot of math here. But you ever need to calculate the duration between the 2 moments in time. And then you only need like just get a day different. It's just so hard. Like, I don't know why. It's like you need to do get time, and then you need to divide it by the second of that. 24-hour time the minute, and then time second, and then time 1,000. So then you get the day different. That might be an easy way for you to do it. Maybe it should be. It should have. But we do it all the time. You don't have any other option. Lastly, the calendar that we are using is representing like the normal calendar used in the rest of the world. But like Japanese, using a different calendar, right? It's like 2021 is not. It's not just 2021. It is the year number 3 in Reiwa era or something. I hope I get this right. Is it correct? Sure. And so that is the Gregorian calendar. That's the calendar that we use mostly everywhere. That you can celebrate Christmas, you can celebrate the New Year's. That's what you're using in most of the country. But of course, different country has different time zones. Our calendar. So the Hebrew has different one, and then Japanese, for example. And so that is all of the pain point we look into. And then actually, I had like 5 more minutes. So Temporal, we're gonna do a speed run. So Temporal is essentially trying to fix all of that. But why is the name Temporal? Why? It's in English. I don't speak English when I was a kid. So I need to look it up. And it is like relating to time for some reason. It is the meaning of it. There's the adjective mean relating to time. And I think coming from this Latin word, temporalis, of time. And that is so cool. I never really, wow, that's where the word comes from. And when people was asking like, when should I use temporal to representing time? Of course, there's a scientific answer we will not go into. There's another one. The guy said, yeah, Java was using it to representing time. So it's completely safe to use to represent time using temporal. And that's all of the date format in Java. Lately was using temporal instead of date. That is a new API. And that is temporal. That's a new API we have. You can see that is a screenshot from MBN. The whole idea of temporal is like to solve all of the problems that date had. That's it. All of the problems we mentioned before. And now it's more like to representing date and time in a different scenario, and it is on trial. So it's browser is implementing. You can try it, but it is not really like widely available. So the status that you can see here, Chrome is just supported it. Firefox since 6 months ago. So if you wanted to try on Firefox, you can just type Temporal on the dev tool. That's why you can see all of the API readily available without importing any library. And how they are gonna do it, I know there's a lot of stuff on the screen. So there's essentially a different class to solve different things. So that there's a plain date time if you only need to work with date and time without a time zone. Or like there's a plain date if you only need to work with date without caring about the date. Or the thing that we call instant, it's just representing a moment without any like time zone, anything attached. And then there's zone date time that's bridging these two categories. So I know there's a lot going on, and we really need to look into deeper to understand. But essentially, Temporal is going to support a very standard string parser. Right? So the first one is ISO string. It had to be well formed so that it can pass it the right data for us. The next thing is for the time zone. If you work with time zone, you need to kind of provide an additional time zone. Lastly, it allows you to pass in an optional calendar. So you might not work with just Gregorian alone. I cannot spell this word anyway. So again, this one just show you again what happened before. That's an example in JavaScript. And then in Temporal, right? Is it? Sorry. Yeah, so just use a new date. Like let's say you don't care what time, just put in the date and that's it. They will understand it perfectly fine. And then when you do toString, it just give you the right string that you give in without any time zone, without any like midnight or is it like 8 hours from midnight, all of that you don't have to worry about. So that is one example. This thing, and then when you try with Temporal, it's just gonna throw an error because it requires more information. Like the year is missing, I cannot pass it. The day is missing, I cannot pass it. Instead of like JavaScript, we try to do maybe a little bit too much. And then that's why there's only one winner of the quiz. The time zone, again, that's JavaScript. And then Temporal, I think something like that. You are gonna give it the time zone at the end. And then you're gonna say, I want to represent this time in another time zone, like Tokyo. And then when you take this Tokyo time zone out, it give you the format that you want perfectly. Like in most of the cases, what you want. You can take it for storing, maybe not, but in a lot of use cases, that's why we'll be passing a different function kind of thing. And then the last one, yeah, is the time zone information. Next one, mutable. Yeah. So sorry, I think we should go too fast. But again, when you call the same method in the object, it tries to mutate the same object. Let's see my time, a bit over, maybe 3 more minutes. But essentially, you can use like zone date time and then was trying. Sorry. So you can just kind of call the month, and then you need to assign to the new object. So the previous object will preserve, and then the new object get the new data kind of thing. I hope it's clear. Just show you one more time. Like when you do zone date time and then with something, you will not be able to say like when you do get that again at the end, it will not work. You just need to kind of give it to the new object, so that is going to work. Yeah, I know all of this is a bit technical, so I try to go a bit faster. And for the duration example, for example, I get the to date in Temporal. I can just say since day one. What's the difference between the two? And then I can get the duration. Very nice. And then you can do a local string. Lastly.
Okay, that's one more.
Last one. Okay, awesome. Okay. Last one is the Japanese one. So you can see like the format in Japan. So that is how you can formatting using that. But here you can try to get like era years. You're gonna give you 3. Like that's very one. Before you can't, right? It's very hard. So new temporal is going to give you more data, and of course, Zochi case here. So I will skip all of the slide. So it's not that I had only one more, but that is a polyfill you can use. It's not readily available, but you can use this tool. And I think the last thing I wanted to talk about is just you know that there's a new API to solve all the dead problem, and I hope you get something from this talk and have some fun. Thank you so much. ありがとうございます。